Located in the heart of Orange City, Chapman University is the perfect school for college kids to attend on the West Coast. A tranquil school nestled in historic Old Town Orange, it isn't typical for the school to be involved in national affairs. Things could not be going better until recently it was pushed into the spotlight by the Koch brothers' multi-million-dollar donation to the school. Before we dive into the Koch brothers and their foundation, the questions remain. Who are they? And what exactly are they doing here? You might have seen them in the news recently as the two billionaire brothers who just bought a massive stake in Time Incorporated in November. If we go way back, you may even remember that one of them ran for vice president as a libertarian candidate in 1980. Charles and David Koch, today commonly referred to as the Koch brothers, have been incredibly active in politics since the early 80s. The two siblings run Koch Industries, the second largest privately owned company in the United States. The company's wealth began in the oil industry and has expanded to include well-known brands like Dixie. To top it off, they also manage the Koch Foundation, well known for its work on funding education and research to institutions. Since its founding in 1980, the organization has made tremendous contributions to over 300 colleges and universities throughout the country. According to the mid-November issue of the Panther, the foundation donated about $180,000 to Chapman from 2009 to 2015. However, last December, it donated a whopping $5 million to the school's Smith Institute for Political Economy and Philosophy. This sparked controversy within the school when the school newspaper published a piece on Chapman's ties to the Koch Foundation. The sudden spike in donations raised concern about whether or not the Koch Foundation was influencing the school curriculum.
Right now, the only concern I hear, or I read on the Panther, is these people are paid by somebody who is a conservative, and we don't like that. Well, really, frankly, the political opinion of the Koch brothers has nothing to do with the quality of this faculty. Why is it corrupting? We found the people, not the Koch brothers.
My first impression was that the Koch brothers were trying to influence Chapman.
I think anytime that it comes from a very politically charged group, such as the Koch brothers, who influence a lot of Congress members, who've influenced the hiring of professors at other schools, I think that becomes problematic.
They're not going to be spending their money at Chapman without wanting something back, because nobody spends their money without wanting something in return.
I think it's problematic that immediately following this donation, a couple libertarian professors were attempted to be hired and then successfully hired.
President Strupa responded by writing an opinions article on the Panther Online. Strupa affirms that the money came after Chapman requested to expand the school's popular economics courses.
When the program flourished and students seemed to be very enthusiastic, that's when we went to the Koch Foundation and said, we want to expand this. Would you be willing to support us? So to me, there is really nothing unethical, there is nothing dark, like people like to say dark money, and there is nothing dark here.
I'm standing outside Chapman Smith Institute, where the department's offices are located. Surprising, right? How a small place like this is able to stir up the latest heated debate on campus. Just like how the Koch brothers' money was disputed, President Strupa's response article met mixed responses. Here's what people had to say.
I think the big thing we learned with Strupa in his recent article is that this was actually driven by student demand. It just seemed like the Koch brothers were trying to be sneaky and influence the colleges across the nation, but turns out that students wanted more humanomics courses.
Chapman has a wide variety of ideologies among its social sciences and among its economics professors and its faculty in general. So I think that even with this donation, I don't think it would have an effect on how students learn or the types of research that can be done at the university.
And the people at the Koch Foundation turned out to really like the idea, and they didn't ask Chapman to manipulate the idea.
Others are still convinced that the large sum of money is driven by a darker motive.
He's not wrong with what he says. They're being transparent in that we know where the money is coming from. But I also think that it's, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or what, but it's very naive, I thought, in that just assuming that the Kochs are freely handing out their money for the betterment of education.
My concern is that we are going to have private companies and outside interests determining what type of curriculum that we're being taught here at Chapman. My fear is that what's going to happen is that we're going to bring on professors who are influenced by the Koch brothers and their corporation to advance their interests, which are very counterintuitive to a lot of the ideals that Chapman University stands for, especially when you look at their denial of climate change, their denial of the fact that fossil fuels contribute to that phenomenon.
So far, discussion about the Koch Foundation's presence on Chapman has simmered down, but we still have to acknowledge the bigger picture. Where are the Koch brothers now? Their involvement with politics stretches out like an intricate web, whether it's with countless other organizations, institutions, think tanks, and even with the previous year's presidential election. The Koch brothers are in more places than we could possibly imagine, and today you've learned that Chapman is one of them. My name is Melissa Cho. Until next time.